Hello, everybody. I choked. Hold on, let me.
Welcome to the BBC, the British Broadcasting Service. Nice.
BBC services.
Oh, corporation. Sorry, dude. What did I say? Service? That's
Service,
BBS. Stupid.
Close enough. Anyways, guys, Namey and Wages. We're actually coming to you live this time from my kitchen together. We're not recording from long distance this time. Wheezy's getting ready to make his move next year, so we'll be doing a lot more live episodes after that. But honestly, it's his fault that we have to do it online. So go ahead and blame me.
Always, dude. Always. You just gotta blame Jesus.
I mean, it's the truth. But if you're not religious, then you can blame me. So with all this alien shit going on, we've been talking about it. So we wanted to come on here.
See what you gotta think. If they're real, is it a conspiracy theory or is it all made up?
We'll never know. So I can't remember if I told you guys a story once about my dad and my mom. Literally, we've done
I'm
so
pretty
many.
sure you have, bro, but like a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever told it on the podcast though. But okay, so I believe in aliens. Jesus, you believe in aliens?
Of course.
And
we're from New Mexico too.
Yeah, we're from New Mexico, right? We used to hear all the stories about it. And now with all this stuff on the news about aliens are real and they're releasing all this stuff, like nobody seems to care. You know, it's kind of just like, okay, we all knew that, we've all known that, whatever. It's brought up some crazy stuff. So I'll start with my dad. So he's a big believer in aliens, along with his friend, and he's seen like UFOs. He'll tell the stories and stuff. But him and my mom, who's a non-believer of aliens, by the way, saw some weird stuff in the woods one night. So we're at my grandma's house, and there's about a 30-minute, not 30, maybe 15-minute drive from my grandma's house to our little trailer park that we lived in when I was a baby.
For sure.
And I'm trying to think of what time they left. I guess the time's not that important, but it was like, let's just say 8 p.m. for the story. And they left my grandma's house to take me home because I was one.
Yeah.
And it was my bedtime. And they were coming around this little truck route area. It's just like this 2-lane road that goes through all this, woods and forest.
Like no man's land.
Yeah.
2 roads and pure fields.
Yeah. Well, and it's just trees. Like it's like in the
trees.
Mountains of like New Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just a ton of trees. And there was a deer in the road who had gone hit, but it like didn't look normal. They said like it had like it was kind of deformed or something. And so they pulled over because it was like right in the middle of the road, which I don't know why my dad pulled over, but he did. And they got out to like see what the hell was going on, and it like scurried off to the side of the road. I didn't want to say run. Yeah, literally it was like doing some crazy shit. Got off to the side of the road and like went into like the trees right there, into the brush. And so they kind of like went back there just like see what the hell it was, but they didn't venture off into the forest. Keep in mind they left me in the car seat in the road at this point. And they like went off to the side of the road and they saw these lights in the trees. My dad said they were just like super bright lights, and that him and my mom like looked at each other and were like, what the fuck is that? And then they like came back to the car, and I was in there crying in my car seat, and they're like, oh, it's okay, like we'll start driving. And they look at the clock and like an hour had passed, and they had been out there for like 5 minutes. They went out, the thing ran, they went over to the things, like to the trees, saw the light, and then they were like, fuck this, that's sketchy. Ran back to the car where I was screaming and had been alone for an hour apparently. And then but when they got home, my grandma had called them a ton of times, because cell phones weren't a thing back in 94, 95.
Yeah, probably just a house phone.
Yeah, so she had called them, and they finally called her, and she's like, I've been calling for hours. Like, where did you go? I thought you were going straight home. And they're just like a little chunk of missing time.
Damn.
Like, weird, right?
It's just like an hour 20 there that you can't count for anything.
Yeah. They're just like, all they said, like, in their memory, there's nothing that happened. They didn't remember going into some spaceship and getting probed or anything crazy like you would, see in a movie. They just remember seeing the lights and they were like, this is hella sketch. Like, let's get out of here. And then all that time had passed.
Damn. I know for me, one thing I experienced, I was with the homie Fez, so he saw it too. How do I when jets or like a plane or even a spaceship, you know how when they fly by they like leave a trail of smoke?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So this was like a clear day. It was like 7 or 8. I remember me and him were smoking outside.
Like at night?
No, yeah, at night.
In the evening or...
And I remember looking up, and we were just seeing smoke like go up like if a rocket ship was flying up like that, right?
Weird.
And then we were looking at it, we're like something's there, and then how do I say this? Like if it was like an Etch a Sketch or like someone like figured out the programming was fucked up, and then it just disappeared. It just cleared. The smoke was gone, like that, like in an instant.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's creepy.
So we saw like something flying up like this, and then it just disappeared, including the smoke. And it was evening. It wasn't like and let's just say if I was holding the bong, I was about to pass it to him so he could hit it. We hadn't hit it, so we weren't high.
Okay, I was just gonna be like, people are gonna be like, well, what were you
Yeah,
on?
we were about to like sorry, and then we were like, just look up, and and in my backyard you can clearly see the whole sky.
Yeah,
everything.
it's just open.
It's just open.
I think I don't remember anything that happened with my mom and dad like during that story. That's just what I've been told, so I didn't experience it.
Yeah.
But I've seen like weird stuff, but I haven't been like up close and personal. So I have one really weird memory, which could just be totally fake because I was so young.
Yeah.
But I was like, I know they say you can't like remember things from when you were like 3 or 4, but like there's like certain like pictures of memories I remember. Like I remember putting a piece of toast in my grandparents' VCR. Like I remember doing it. Like I can see it, I swear. But this memory is weird because we lived in like this little 2-story duplex. So it was like this half of the house was ours, and there's a big wall, and the other half is like another family's, right?
Like a little townhouse type of deal.
Yeah. And I had my own room upstairs, and we weren't like really rich or anything growing up, so I probably had a crib way longer than I should have. But I remember I was in my crib in the room, and I used to get up all the time and like cry. And
normal.
I get up at 3 a.m. and start screaming. I was a pretty good baby. I didn't cry that often. So like when I did, my parents would like come and get me and whatever. And there was this one time that I remember. I know this is stupid because I was little, so it could have just been a dream, but like I remember it. So and it feels so real. I woke up and there was like lights all over my room. Like you know those things that they used to give kids that like they would spin and show like pictures on the wall.
Yeah.
Well, I always wanted one, but we couldn't afford to like do stuff like that. And my mom was just like, nah, just here's a nightlight.
Yeah, of course.
But like it was spinning around like that, and I could see like lights going in the room. And I stood up, and I remember like I don't remember seeing what it was, but I remember feeling like something was reaching out to pick me up, and I wasn't scared. I remember I wasn't scared because I tried to like go with him. I didn't scream or anything.
Damn,
but I
remember, about to get abducted, you don't even know.
Yeah, but I remember I like tried to jump out and like get whatever, like go with whatever, but I fell out and I whacked my head. So then I started screaming. Then my parents ran up there and they're like, "Why did you jump out? Like, what the hell?" But I remember jumping out because like something was trying to pick me up, but I wasn't scared, so I don't think it was like some demon or anything crazy. But like I remember seeing the lights and then being like, "Oh, this is cool." And then I stood up and I was like, like reaching my arms up like that. Yeah.
No,
and then I was like, well, bam, and I just whacked my head, and then I was like, but I do remember that. And then I've also seen some weird stuff one time, like in the sky, in Los Alamos.
Yes.
So it was a creepy area. We were parked like on the side of this like mountain. We were like at the top of it, and it's just flat right there. And then you can just see down into the canyon, and like the sky is like really clear up there. And we were just sitting there and we were eating sandwiches. I know that's stupid, but me and my friend and I were eating sandwiches and we were just chilling and talking. We were like looking out the front window and this red light like shot up, stopped, and it wasn't like right in front of the car. It was like out there.
Yeah.
Stopped and then just like zigzagged and then just shot away.
Damn.
Like just literally, and we both looked at each other like, "Did you fucking see that?" And like, there's no way to prove that we saw that. You know, like, what are they gonna be? Oh, it was a firefly. No, the fuck it wasn't. Like what? Oh, it was a tester. No, it wasn't. They weren't testing shit. That was a freaking alien.
I hate when people say like, "I saw this." It's like, no, you didn't. You're making it up, or they don't believe.
They don't believe.
Like, what if I did see this? Like, how you gonna prove that I didn't see it?
Well, that's the thing. It's all based on what people believe because no one really has proof. I mean, even the videos that the government's released or that people have released, people still don't believe it. They've literally released confidential files that say, yeah, aliens are real. All this stuff is real. You guys
we have dead bodies. We have ships, and people are like, who cares?
Yeah. And at this point, people would always say like the government's hiding aliens. They're hiding, and then they're like, yeah, we were. You guys were right. And everyone's like, anyway, so you want to do brunch tomorrow? You know, like it's not a big deal anymore. But this shit is real, and I think they're trying to
see.
Is it a distraction
now we
that they're telling us
to believe like what Bob Lazar and that other guy, like how they were talking about working on the ships in the 90s and shit like that, and people were like, no, and like now it seems more real.
And everyone's like, ooh, you were not lying. I'm sorry. Sorry that
I think
we're
honestly
pieces
the
of
next
shit to you.
big thing is probably like a fake alien attack for sure.
There's gonna be something, dude.
Yeah, some bull crap like that. But it's I don't know. I was watching this. I remember I was watching with my mom. They were talking about all that alien stuff, how there's a ship and stuff, and it looked like a saucer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then literally the next topic on the news or whatever was how China has designed a ship that looks like a saucer and can fly in any direction. Like,
So is them telling us about all this alien stuff? Is it just prepping us for their next
or whatever bullcrap.
that's about to come?
Yeah.
Or is it a distraction because they're doing something else, so they want us to be like, aliens are real, we knew it.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's because we're running out of money, so they're like, "Hey, there's aliens."
They're like, guess what? Guess what we did?
Y'all niggas got gold. No,
Right there. Like, here's the other thing though, is if so they're saying aliens are real, but like I guess I need to do more research because are they saying like they crash landed here, so then they took the ships and the bodies, or are they saying that they just like shot these fuckers out of the sky and kept them for their own studies? Because
well,
what the fuck?
They technically can't say that they shot them down in the press conferences. So they say they found them or they came.
So like, are they saying Roswell is
They
real?
came
Like,
to found. So yeah, it's basic. See, and that's the problem. Is like if Roswell turns out to be real, then all that shit in Los Alamos, all that shit in the mountains, all that
everything is real.
Everything that all the bright lights in Arizona, all the bright lights
like
in LA.
what do they call them? The in Arizona. Why can't I think of it? I lived there for 10 years. Something like I almost said Northern Lights. I'm so stupid. That's the thing. The woo.
Yeah, the
you know what I'm
lights
talking
in the sky.
Yeah, but what the fuck am I talking about? It's something like. Why can't I think of it?
Southern Lights or something?
No. Hold on, let me look it up. But anyways, like so all of that stuff you're saying Arizona UFO light things. Let me just
and everything that's like that we've come to know since let's just say like early 2000s to now, like
Phoenix Lights, literally the obvious thing in the whole fucking. Oh my god, I hate us, dude. Yeah. Watch. The Phoenix Lights were a series of widely sighted, unidentified flying objects observed in the skies over the southwestern states of Arizona and Nevada on March 13th, 1997. So, like, there is still no answers 26 years later. When that was just this year that they posted, like, look, there's all these things about it saying, like, all this shit's happened. Look, every March 13th, they post a new video about it, 25th anniversary. But so they're going to come out and say, okay, all that stuff is real. Okay, so what about all the other stuff? So they lied to us about this for all these millions of years. Like, you know, they're lying about anything.
Yeah.
About anything and everything.
See,
they want us to
now the problem is like, so you know that when they was it the Roswell incident, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how it caused like mass radiation and the deers and the rabbits, like all those animals, they got deformed, and that's why we have jackrabbits.
Okay.
Because it's called like that rabbit. From whatever that crash landing.
You mean jackalopes or whatever?
Or jackalopes.
Yeah.
How they have horns on their head and it's a rabbit. That's weird, right? Like that's a mutation. That's not natural.
Yeah, it's not. But no, all of this is just crazy to me. Like something's up. The government doesn't just give any information or anything out for free. But
the thing is that I'm pretty sure that's how do I say?
Everything
it's one of
comes
those
at a
things
price.
that they've probably been hiding for like 50 years, and I think they finally got someone finally got the okay to like you can release this, but there's probably gonna be a bunch of problems.
And no one cares.
Yeah.
But everyone's like, yeah, we know, dude. We've been telling you. We've been telling you guys. But like, I remember before Brandon died, he told me, he said the government doesn't give things away for free. So if they offer you something for free, there's a reason. Like the COVID vaccine, because you know he was like super anti-COVID.
Yeah.
He said the government doesn't just give things or tell you things for free. It always comes at a price. Everything comes at a price. So what is the price of this is the question.
I don't know, bro. They're also like all this might correlate to the free internet that they're giving you.
What free internet?
You didn't see? Like
because also with the 5G and shit, it's gonna be all tied in.
Well, see, I only know this because Elon Musk talked about it.
Okay.
And he said that free internet that they're gonna give is gonna be super shitty. He's like, it's probably gonna cause massive blackouts because everyone's gonna be connected to the same server. and he said that he's gonna set up a Starlink network so we can have satellite internet instead of that internet. That's the only reason, and he said that that's the only reason I know about it because he just talked about it. He said that.
Yeah.
But like you just said, anything free comes at a price.
Yeah. Everything. No, like, you know, this is so stupid, but there's that show, Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
And Rumpelstiltskin always is like, all magic comes at a price, whatever. But it's true. Like, everything comes at a price. Like, I can give my friends something.
Everything for the 20th time.
Yeah. Like everything comes at a price. I think this would be a good idea. So like when we were kind of talking about that earlier or the other day when we were talking about like everything comes at a price, like they're telling us about this. Like how do we know if it's even real? Like if they lied to us about it that it didn't exist, could they be lying to us that it does exist? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
like literally you can't believe anything. We don't know anything's real. I don't even know you're real, dude. That's the craziest thing, right?
Yeah.
Like there's literally no way for you or I to prove that each other are real.
And then like you start to see like those movies, right? Like let's say like Men in Black. Or what if like all that shit's just going on in the background?
Well, I actually had this thing on my phone that I was reading about Men in Black earlier, and I'm gonna pull it up because, you know, basically it was saying maybe Men in Black isn't real. I mean, or is real, sorry, not is. Yeah, nothing came out. But one sec, I have to open this. Dude, someday when we're famous on our podcast, we gotta have someone here to Google stuff for us. There. Okay, let's see. I'm reading it right now. Yeah, so I mean, basically, like the Men in Black movie, like people think that like that kind of thing really exists, which it could, because like I was telling you a second ago, like we probably sound like big old stoners, but like we're not. I was watching this thing that said you can't. The one thing that you literally can't prove is that someone else is like also conscious the same way you are, you know, like so I cannot prove that you see the world the same way I do, like that this kitchen looks the exact same way to me as it does to you. Even like it doesn't even matter if you're colorblind or not colorblind, but like I say like, oh yeah, this is a cup, but what if in your mind when I'm handing you a cup, it literally looks like what a candle looks like to me or something, like, you know what I mean?
No,
or like what a fucking
then
pen looks like.
It's like people that don't have internal dialogue. I used to meet people like that in high school.
Okay.
Like where they just have a single thought. Like if they're watching a movie and you talk to them, they can't do it.
Yeah.
They can only watch the movie. Or if two people are talking to him, he can't. Only one person. Or if he's learning something and someone else talks to him, he is just like that. And then I came to the conclusion like people, if you have internal dialogue, I'm like, that's your soul, bro. That's your soul talking to you. That's your brain. That's everything coming into one, right? So you're telling me like those people, they don't have internal dialogue, so they don't have a soul. That's legit. When we say someone's an NPC, that's legit just an NPC. Like it doesn't make sense that there's humans out there that are computers, basically.
Yeah. Like I talk to myself in my head all day long. I don't just sit there and like talk shit or anything, but there's always something in my head. Like when I'm falling asleep, I'm thinking thoughts and like thinking about memories or doing something or thinking about like, gosh, I have to wake up soon and then I'm gonna have to do this at work. Like what's my first appointment? But then like to think that someone doesn't, or like they just watch a movie and they're just watching the movie and nothing else happened.
Like they're not thinking about like, oh, this scary. Like, oh, I remember like, oh, it's kind of like this movie.
Yeah. Like, so me and Miles were talking the other day and he kept looking at me and just like smiling. And I was like, what? Like, what are you thinking about? And he was like, I was just looking at you. And I'm like, okay, but like, what did you think? And he was like, I thought she's pretty or something. And I'm like, okay, what do you think? Like, okay. And then like, he was still looking later. And I was like, what are you thinking? He was like, I was just looking at you. I said, you had no thought at all. It didn't matter. Like you weren't thinking about, oh, like she kind of has a mustache. Like, you weren't thinking anything. He was like, no, I was literally just looking at you and thinking I'm looking at Miranda. And I'm like, that's weird, bro. And now I was like, you're kind of a psycho. And he like didn't understand it, but I'm like, I know you had to have another thought. And he just really didn't understand like what I meant. And I'm like, what about your background thoughts? And maybe Miles just doesn't
have internal dialogue,
or either that, or he just, I don't know, is weird and he doesn't understand my questioning.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he might, but it's because, damn, there's no defending it.
No, there's no defending it.
He doesn't have internal dialogue.
Yeah, like when he comes here, if he comes while we're recording, question him on it. I'm telling you, there's something weird.
Yeah.
And like, I know we have ADHD, so we probably have a lot more internal dialogue than people without, but everyone still has it.
Yeah, no, everyone should have it. Because my mom, that's what my mom says. My mom, I told my mom that, and then she gets all biblical. She's like, everyone has a soul, everyone this. Yeah, but I think a soul is like more like you have to awaken it.
What do you mean?
Like you have to like gain consciousness.
Yeah. Well, and like when we're talking about like the consciousness thing, like there's literally no way for me to prove that you're an actual like human, or that
Imagine.
like that we're even real. Like I was
and
talking.
Black status, dude. I just take off my head.
Yeah, or dude, this earpiece keeps popping out of my ear, so the quality's probably not gonna be good.
Oh, I'm like, you have to lock it in, dude, and then it stays.
Oh, like just turn?
Yeah, that's what this top piece is for.
Oh.
Go back to you.
Oh.
Looks
Is it locked in?
Yeah.
Okay.
It should be.
So
look.
Your neck cracks, bro.
Like I tell everyone, like there's a Mexican comedian that always says that, but like once you hit 25, the warranty on your body runs out.
It's true.
You start creaking and leaking.
For real, dude. But okay, back to the consciousness thing. Okay. Yeah. So ever since I watched the new season of Black Mirror, that first episode like really tripped me out, where the girl is like at work and she fires this guy and like all this stuff happens. And she goes home. So she actually goes and like hooks up with her ex, like cheats on her new like fiance or whatever.
Yeah.
Goes home and they sit down to watch TV for the night. And there's like a new show on Netflix that's called like Joan is Awful. And her name is Joan. And the girl has the same hair, like, because she had specifically like dyed those two front pieces blonde, like all this stuff. And they watch it and it's like an exact replica of what happened in her day, just from another girl. And so she starts freaking out and she's like, what the fuck? Like, how is this happening? Her life is ruined. She does all this stuff.
Yeah.
Turns out that like she's actually a character in the show. And they didn't say Netflix, but like whatever they call it in the thing, like strawberry something, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Streamberry or something like that. They were supposed to be like Netflix. That like little user agreement when they first signed up, it said like we can use the rights to your life, like we can use video footage of you, we can do whatever we want. And so she had like signed that, and the girl, like the main character of the show, is literally like an AI created bot from Netflix or the fake Netflix in the show or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's become conscious within her AI thing. And so like then she has to like make the other people realize that they're not real. And then they're like, what the fuck? And then like all hell starts breaking loose.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what if that's what we are? Like, what if we're just someone's thought, dude? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get you. And then there's something that like the homie Braden says, like if there was. I said, sorry.
It's okay. I just don't think it's picking us up.
I think the homie Braden says, like, if there is a higher being out there, like, he wouldn't be able to communicate with us. And, like, I get that. I get that to like, a T, because, like, what if he created us, right? And then he was like, this is experiment 1.1.
Yeah.
And he left and did that on another galaxy. And then he did that, and he's like, I'll come back. I'll do a rotation. Like, how do we know we're... like, how do we know we're conscious? Like, you just said, we're just someone else's thought.
Like, literally, we're just, like Sims.
Yeah.
Like what if we just started out as like a fucking Sims game, and then we became conscious within that game, and then started like reproducing and like recoding other people, and then someone took over, and like now we're just a super advanced form of game. And then every once in a while they're just like, it would be crazy if we killed off one of these people. And then our AIs like are so emotionally attached to the other AIs because we think we're real humans. The humans don't even exist. We've just made all of this up within ourselves. And like then they killed off Brandon, and they like set off this chain reaction, and now we're all where we are, Like we don't know that that's not real. Yeah. It could easily be real.
Yeah. Like no, you're freaking right.
Like right now, if we wrote our own Bible and printed it out and buried it, and then they tore this place up in 100 or 200 years, and they found that, and they'd be like, oh my God, there was a God. Like we could literally be like, you know what I mean?
I get that.
Like I could write in there, I created civilization, I've done this. We could make a whole fucking fake story, bury it, and then in 100 or 200 years, someone could dig that up, and then their whole society lives off of that.
Imagine a whole religion created off that. It becomes the main religion.
Literally. Like they're like, oh, like, and then you write in there like Christianity's not real. This isn't real, but this is what was real. And then people start living off of that. Like isn't that kind of what happened? It's just someone told a story, and then we believe in religion, and then it's just kind of a chain reaction because what you believe in is more likely to happen, you know? Like medicine.
If you get into that, like religion is just to control the masses. It's all it is.
Well, just kind of like on Braden's episode when he's talking about like they use this as a form to control you.
Emotional manipulation.
Yeah. And like I don't think all religions, like not all people who like are really religious believe that way. Like you believe and you're religious, but you don't act different because of it. And
I believe some stuff.
Yeah.
I don't believe it all.
exactly. And I think all of us
I don't
are.
like the church because of what they do,
Yeah.
but I do
Agreed.
like. I like the story. I like.
I like the idea.
There is a God. Maybe there might not be an afterlife, but I like to believe there is a resurrection.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like I always say, I'd like to come back as a dog.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case. You might come back as like
A
your
pedophile.
great nephew or something. Like
Why did I go with the pedophile? I don't know.
okay.
You might
come out on was it Predator or How to Catch a Predator?
Yeah. You're like reincarnated as the next Ted Bundy, like
Damn.
weird shit. You never know.
What if like when you die, instead of like getting resurrected or something, you just get sent back like in a random point in time, and that's why you look like your ancestors.
It's possible. Because like if our other theory from earlier, like that we were just created, then we would just be like literally code getting rewritten. We wouldn't actually be breeding with each other. So they would have to try and like make you look like using like CGI stuff and put you into the game. And then you die, so they're like, I'll just pop him back like, in like the 1902 version of the game, dude.
Like what you're talking about, Miranda, that's like basically Assassin's Creed.
Is
like, it? They look for a certain person that fits like the ancestry they're trying to like go back in the time, and they find him, and then they're like they put him in this machine, and then the machine will let him access memories from his ancestors. And yeah, it goes all the way back to like, let's just say the Jesus time, and then they even go through like Egypt and all this shit.
Yeah.
And that's basically what they're doing. They're trying to like figure out history. He's basically learning history in modern age.
Yeah.
Through the old people's eyes.
That's interesting.
And it was like, what if that's what happens? Like that's why you get sent back in time. What if you're too smart? You get sent back in time.
Yeah.
You know,
or you find out something you're not supposed to find out. Boop dead.
Boop dead. Yeah.
Makes
like scary stories on YouTube, like compilations. Yeah. And there was a couple that are like top 10 most scariest like government stories. And there was a couple in there that like freaked me the hell out. There was one where this guy he was organizing the files. He worked for the FBI.
Okay.
And then his boss like put him to work on his computer or whatever, and that he found a file that basically what they do to people they want to kill. Yeah. Or something. Like there's a portal here and there's a portal in the moon, and basically the moon is just full of dead bodies.
I believe it, dude.
That's why people go missing and shit.
Well, okay. So when we were in that movie last night, we just went and watched Talk to Me at the theater.
Spoilers.
Yeah, this won't actually even be about that movie. It's going to be about a preview for another movie that I saw when we went in. It was about like that kid had to have a co-signer to like stay on Earth. Oh, and so instead of getting like deported to another country or whatever, they would get like deported off the Earth, is what it was showing. And so like you would have to have a co-signer basically. So just like you would when you had to get a visa, it was the same, but it was actually like onto another planet. And that's all I could really get from watching the previews. But like that kind of reminded me of that.
For me, it was more like how I saw it was more like if you're useless to society, you end up dying. And then how that guy helped out that chick, that means he was helping out, like, her move on or whatever. You get to stay. In each other's places.
The other thing that I just thought of when you said like there's dead bodies on the moon or something was, so with all the UFO stuff, back to the aliens, if they know that UFOs are real and aliens are real, and they're saying we have bodies, we have proof, we have spaceships, do they know where they're coming from? Did they say that? Because I haven't done enough research on that. And if not, or if we know they're real, then
but there is scientists and astrologers and all that they prove that certain stuff from the Earth is like stuff that isn't from the Earth.
Yeah.
It's from space. That's like they say 50 to 60 light years away. And they say that the radio signals that we give out, it's been 100 to 150 years since we started the radio. And if there were to be aliens like how they say they were, they say that they would probably attack us because there's proof of civilization.
Yeah.
Like, there's 150 years of proof of civilization that we're out here. So if they are coming, then we're gonna get attacked, like for sure.
But why are they here and why are they like? So only one spaceship comes just to be like, you know what? Me and Jesus will go check out another planet tonight. And then whatever they have, who knows? Or do they look like us? Do they look like something else? Like, are they, and why are they only coming one at a time? Like, why are we only finding one UFO at a time? Like, I guess that's my question. And if we know they're real and they know we're real because they've come here, are we going there and lying about that?
Yeah, what if that
Like-
one ship that comes, literally, it's just to come and get like 2 people and send them back to their planet, just to be like, how's the civilization going?
Yeah.
Should we terminate this planet?
Like, what do we need to do? Yeah.
What do I need to give you for you to make this planet better? Like, I just feel like we're a zoo. Like,
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, how do we know? Like, we don't even know space is real. Like, we're just going based on what they tell us.
Yeah, exactly. And
Like, we can look up in a telescope. Does that, like, are we just in a dome and we're just imagining, like, we can see the planets with our telescope? That doesn't prove that they're real.
Yeah. How,
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like I was telling the homie, was it yesterday?
Yeah.
You know, space. How do we know space is real? How do we know any of those satellites that they say they send up are real? Right. For me, it's always felt like we live in a dome. Like,
Yeah.
not like The Simpsons, but like literally the Earth is a sphere, right? It's just a dome.
Yeah.
How do we know there's more past like the sky if we never like the sun it turns the sky dark, right?
Yeah.
How do we know there's more out there than that? Like,
we don't. That's the thing, is we don't know anything because, and then they'll be like, oh, well, scientists have proved. Okay, well, what if they're not even proving anything? What if all they're proving is made up because they just made up science themselves?
they got paid to say that.
Yeah, or like they just made up science themselves, right? Like someone made it up at some point and then just went along with those studies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like everything on Earth is made up. Everything we know is literally made up by someone else. Language, just because we speak it doesn't mean it's like, yeah, like we literally, someone just started making it up one day and being like, rock, like just making up sounds, and then we just made up a fucking language off of it. It's not like real, if that makes sense. I know that sounds dumb, but like nothing is real.
No, you're right, but it's because that's the thing. Language and like, and what's it called, and writing has existed like always. Like it's been a thing since like the beginning of society. There's like, they find like, how do I say, like patterns and basically written stuff on the walls, and it's like languages that no one can identify or speak.
Yeah.
Like,
So like it's literally just one
and
day.
they're made, like you said, yeah, exactly. They're made up.
Everything's made up. Like they just made up what things are. Like there's not an actual picture of a dinosaur. There's bones and stuff, but like there's no one's seen one.
Until
no one's
we
seen
have
one.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Miranda, this is this was on the Pine Park After Dark podcast.
Okay.
And they said that I think it's near Canada or near New York or near Toronto. They're gonna build a park and they're gonna use elephant DNA, and they have enough mammoth DNA
to recreate one.
So that's what they're doing now. They're creating mammoths. So I'm like, so we're basically going to Jurassic Park this world. Is that what's going to happen again? Because we need to prove that there was dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Like it's not about like, hey, is there? No. We need to prove that there was.
Like they say, yeah, these are bones. This is this. Literally, there's no proof of there's bones, so they have a structure. They have nothing else. They don't have a picture of a velociraptor. Like they don't have a picture of a T-Rex. They don't have a picture of a freaking.
I've seen those pictures, bro. There's a picture of like what society says it looks, or what scientists said it looked like, and then it's like what society thinks it looked like, what it really was, and then it's like a house cat.
Yeah, like literally, like they're like, oh, like the structure, because evolution, they say evolution's real, so they have like monkeys to man things, and they have like the way just even domesticated dogs have changed, like just specific breeds like boxers and bull terriers and stuff. Like their structures literally changed so much because people have overbred them, incorrectly bred them, and bred them for another shape and size. That like if that can happen, something like that can. And I get it. So they test it and the DNA is different. Okay, well, we still don't know what they look like. We don't have a picture.
Yeah.
Like when this is
How
gone.
Do we know like the dinosaurs? They always put them like they had like leather skin in this. How do you know they weren't hairy?
We don't. Like they literally test their genetics and they just think, but like we still don't know.
How do the like mutations and like shit like that? Like how does that fit into like this world? Like why do we get those mutations?
Yeah.
Don't we like?
It's from.
isn't our body supposed to be perfect? All this stuff, like it's supposed to be technically in science, it's the perfect computer. That's what the body is.
Yeah, unless you're going over 5 miles an hour and you fall off something and then you're just flat. Well, I'm not getting over unless you get cancer.
None of it makes sense.
No, it's crazy. How do I know are you an alien? Dude, just tell.
Dude, okay.
I won't tell anyone if you tell. We can stop recording.
Okay, dude. I'll be honest with you. It's like I'm a celestial being, and it's just like I'm a
Just rip off your mask.
Not even, dude. It's just light. Holy shit.
Everyone, we're gonna cut. Like right when you rip off your mask. So that'd be crazy.
Damn.
But like, I don't think if I am an alien, I'm unaware of it. So otherwise, I would tell you.
I don't know. Like I said, like if I'm an alien, I'm not that bright. So I mean, like
they just kicked us down. And maybe we're all like the reject aliens down here, dude.
This just reminds me of an. It's like it's a video game. It's a Halo.
Yeah.
That game. There's a movie, a cartoon movie on it, and they basically explain like the history of Halo, like how they came to be. And basically there was like this society of aliens. They're called the Forerunners.
Yeah.
They're the ones that basically created society, or they were the first society. And then they built like a ship and all this, and then they went to different worlds, right?
Yeah.
And they found different worlds. Like they found a world that just had giraffes. They had a world that just had zebras. They found a world that was just monkeys. They had a world.
And that was just like for the reject.
And no. Basically, what they did is they found all these worlds with all these different animals, and they no ark that they brought two of each to one world.
Oh, like a Noah's Ark type of thing.
Yeah, and they made the Earth. But how do I say? Basically, they found a world that was like corrupt, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't know. They brought it over. They infected the Earth. So basically, even when you're a creator, you fuck up.
Yeah.
When you're an all-knowing God.
Yeah. Well, then I just think like, okay, stuff has to be real because there was obviously, we believe there was proof of people existing all this time, right? I haven't seen it, but I've just read literature. But like, there's literally no proof that like we've been alive since our grandparents and our parents have, but we haven't been alive before that, and they aren't alive anymore. So how do we know? Kind of like you guys, we talked about this a little bit the other day, but like, how do we know that like we didn't just pop into existence 30 minutes ago and start this podcast, and we were just implanted all these memories of this past life that we had here, but literally life just started a minute ago. We don't have proof of that either.
Yeah.
Well, like that, literally, there's no way to prove all this crazy shit. So,
best thing to do is not think about it, or what?
I mean, I guess because it starts to trip you out, right? You think about it, you're like, am I even real, dude? Like, are we gonna disappear into a million pieces because we just figured it out and no one's gonna remember we existed?
And we pull some.
Are we gonna get crashed off the road tomorrow because we've talked about this? I don't know. We gonna find out on episode 2.
I don't think it at this point. I think they're going for more radical people. Like people that are directly like
related to
like what they say the far right, crazy people, fanatics or whatever. They're going for those type of people. For us, we're like I say, we're the gray Jedis. We're not good or bad because I mean we're conscious. We know what's up, right?
Yeah.
Or it's more logical. It's not we know what's up. It's like the logical thing. Like you're gonna take this random shot. It's gonna fuck you up. Who knows what it might do to you?
Yeah.
But you're not gonna get sick, right? Right.
Right, and it's just air quotes. But
and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna take it, and then you take it, right? And then let's just say you get all these problems later on in life, not now, but like 10, 15 years. And
let's even say 3 or 4 years from now because it hasn't been able to be tested that long, so we don't know.
And all these young people die from heart clots.
Blood clots, yeah. Remember, my mom got a blood clot in her lung after it.
And then, let's say 10, 15 years later, you're dealing with the consequences. Who do you blame? You blame the government or you blame yourself for taking that choice? Because we all have a choice. Everyone had the choice to take it, and then the people that took it, they took the easy way out. They didn't care. Those are the people that in the moment of like the government trying to take your kids, they'd give your kid away. Yeah. They'd give their kids away.
They did exactly what you're asked to do. And like for us, like we work, it made it for people who work at like the national laboratories and stuff. They made it mandatory. They did it for the military.
Yeah.
If you're going to stay here, you're going to get it or you're gone. You're done. You have no job. You have nothing. You have no income. You have no insurance anymore. You're done. For us, we are self-employed. Yeah. So we got the chance to make that choice for ourselves. And a lot of people, at the lab up in Los Alamos, they had to end up quitting because like they just left their jobs because they couldn't get it. And then so many people left that they had to take that requirement away to let them back because it's a national laboratory. If you just watched Oppenheimer, it just came out, talks about the atomic bomb and like what they did and like why they were created. And I'm sure they still do a ton of top secret shit there that we don't know about. But they do like they do all kinds of shit. And they couldn't just not have employees. So they had to hire all their scientists to come back without getting the COVID vaccine. But think about it. It's the Los Alamos National Laboratory is a science-based place that does projects for the whole United States and does things with plutonium and freaking making, yeah. And then they're like, oh, wait, actually come back. Why weren't they wanting to get it? Was it, a lot of nurses and doctors lost their jobs because they didn't want to do it. Yeah. But then there was those people who just didn't care because it was the easy way out. Someone on TV told them it would work.
Or their job said, you can get it. We're not going to require it, but you can get it. And they got it. And it's like, and literally they're the only one in their group that got it.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're like, I don't know. I didn't get it because my mom I always say this, my mom keeps us really healthy, bro. At the time we were on it with the green shakes. I was working out with the homie Fez. It literally, if you actually heard like what they were saying like fat people, older people that have lung and heart problems are dying.
Yeah.
And then it's like, if you're unhealthy, if you're not drinking water, if all this shit, like Joe Rogan said, if you're working out and drinking water, you should be fine. And that's exactly what happened. I never got it, dude.
Yeah, I got it, and I was sick.
I was around people that had it. I was trapped. Everything that's said not to do.
Yeah.
I was hanging out. We were still.
We were visiting each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. You came to Arizona.
Oh, I remember that trip, dude. When I came to Arizona,
everything was closed.
No, when no one was wearing a mask.
Oh yeah.
And then I told you, bro, I was like, I work in installation, so I have to wear a mask, right?
Yeah.
I've been doing that for 6 years now. So when all that stuff happened, I'm like, I wear a mask all day at work, and then I have to go to the store and wear a mask again. You're stupid.
Well, New Mexico got really hardcore with their like COVID restrictions and stuff on like what they couldn't do.
Yeah, that's why all those businesses went down.
Yeah,
that's why we lost all this money. And then the government's like, I don't know. The government is like, I don't know why.
Yeah, and then they tried to pretend they were helping all of us, our small business wise, and they got us all to sign up for like those COVID. What are they called? COVID
relief programs.
Yeah, it was like a COVID relief like thing, and they said these are going to be forgiven. We're putting in like all these bills, whatever. They're not forgiven. So now I owe $6,500 to the government because they gave me that EIDL loan. And then they gave me a PPP loan, which was forgiven for like paying employees or whatever. Mm-hmm. But then I don't think like when you're getting it sounds great when you're a small business owner and you're struggling to stay open and you're like, oh yeah, heck yeah, free money. But like I said, the government doesn't give anything away for free. So it all came at a cost to everything else.
That's
literally it started a downhill
cycle. Giving away, bro. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, like they want to help small businesses, but it's all coming at a cost because now our taxes are triple what they were. Like we can't afford to keep our employees on. We can barely afford to stay alive. Like in today's day and age, I work in a grooming salon, and people think, oh, like you guys bathe puppies and probably make $100. No, we can make like $600 or $700 a day. Like mine and Lauren's average is probably $400 a day at least a day. That's pretty good for someone who's just doing dogs, and that's just on our basic dogs. If we do extra dogs or a bigger dog, or if we wanted to stay and actually work like a 7 to 7 shift, we would make way more than that.
Yeah.
But that's plenty of money. We can barely afford to live on stuff. And like, yeah, we want to go out with our friends and we probably spend a little bit extra than we should. But I have to pay to work where I work. I have to pay rent to work in that building. Then I have to come home and pay rent to live here. Then I have to pay my car payment. Then I have 5 dogs to take care of, plus myself. And me and Miles split a lot of, our bills and stuff. But like, that's still like on top of that. Then at the end of the year, after I worked my ass off, I'm going to have to pay them probably $5,000 back in taxes because I made too much money. And then for what?
For what? Yeah.
For what?
It's just, look, I get it. Like maybe at the beginning of the taxes, like, what was it? It was 7 or 8% was fine. But now it's 15% of our fucking check. Yeah. Any money. It's ridiculous.
My mom got like her biggest check ever since her new job because she got a ton of overtime, and it was like $7,200. And then after taxes, she got about $5,000 for that. They took $2,000 from her check. Yeah. $2,000 from her check, like
just like that.
And
you never see it back. That whatever back taxes you get, that's some bullshit thing. So you can shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So you don't complain.
I don't even get taxes back anymore now that I am an independent contractor. Never. Well, and then
this was the first time I got taxes back in five years, because the other times it's like you, I owed money.
I owed $3,000 last year.
It was always like I would do my taxes and it's like I'm getting 1,500. No, you owe 1,500. I'm like,
for what? You took $2,000 a month from me the whole year, and you need more. But like that's what it feels like. Because this year, like, hear me out. So they set you up because the American dream, right, is to have a family, have your own business, like have your own house, all this stuff. Okay, so today's day and age, like no one our age is having kids anymore. You know, not that many people are doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Like I'm almost 30 years old. I should have a baby by now if I was like everyone else. I don't. Michelle doesn't. Half my friends don't. You know, you don't. None of my friends here actually do, besides one of them. But everyone wants you to own your own business. That's the way to go, which it is. Because like, you know, like I said, during COVID, I didn't have to close down. I had the choice. I didn't have to get my vaccine. I had the choice. But I also don't get the choice of having cheap insurance through work. I also have to pay my own taxes. If I have a whole day of cancellations, there goes my utility money, you know, and people don't see it like that. But then you think, okay, that's bad. Just wait till the end of the year. If you're not paying your quarterly taxes, or if you're not paying your taxes monthly, which would be a smarter idea for a small business like mine, then tax time comes. So hear me out. Last year, I moved into my own house. I had to fix my bus and rebuild the whole thing.
Yeah.
I had to buy a new generator. I had to buy a new water heater. I had, you know, all these huge expenses that were for like the business. I had to buy a brand new tub, a brand new table, everything for grooming. Taxes come at the end of the year. And I'm like, okay, I dropped about $11,000 fixing that bus. Plus I had to move and they let you write off some of that stuff. Plus I had my storage for my bus, my insurance, you know, all that stuff I could write off. All the shampoos I bought. Because I own a dog related business, I can write off the dog's healthcare stuff. Like I own their dog food. So that's a huge write off. I still owe $3,000 after writing off all of that stuff. I still owe that much money. So yeah, it's insane.
American dream, baby. You gotta be asleep to believe
it. Literally, you do. There's no American dream anymore. Like you can, if I went to Canada, I could have a baby for free. I'll have a baby here. Just having the baby at the hospital alone is $20,000, and that doesn't. If the baby's sick, add hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Canada, they'll live you because it's too cold. They'll literally give you money to live there, like monthly. It's. I used to have when I went to UTI, this homie was from Canada. He was from it was near. He said near. It was basically Toronto because he couldn't. Yeah. I couldn't say it. And he said that monthly because. After he turned 18, monthly after him and his brother, his mom and his dad, that's 4 people.
Yeah.
Each adult got because he was an adult. Each adult got like $4 to $5 grand, and the kids got $3 grand. And it was mandatory to spend money on food and clothes. So they had to buy clothes. You know, it's too cold.
Yeah.
And also buy food. But the rest, it was for them like. That's it's nice, right?
Yeah.
But it's like.
But like, I also don't know that much more about how we've never lived there, so we don't know for sure. It sounds like the dream, but like, what else is? They barely get any money on their paychecks and shit. I've heard like, who knows?
Or maybe they get monthly rated. Like the government comes, checks out their place, like see what's going on. Shit like that might happen.
Like, yeah, who knows? We literally don't know anything about it because we don't live there. It sounds nice, but like, there's other countries who give free healthcare and stuff. But then when you ask people here, especially Republicans, they'll have everything to say about, oh, we don't need free healthcare, just work and do this. Okay, if I go get insurance right now, it doesn't matter if I go through the state or I just get insurance. However, it's going to be at least $800 a month just for me to have health insurance, which if I get in an accident or if I have another ovarian cyst and stuff, that'll be nice. Yeah. But what about the 9 months in between that I'm not? I'm just paying $800 that I don't have to spare. So then I'm not eating. I'm not able to feed the dogs. Like, I can't put gas in my car. So then it's going to be like that. So it's like, I don't know. Everything, insurance is made up too, and so is money. So I don't know. I don't believe anything. I don't believe anything.
It's like insurance. Like when you want it, when you need it in the moment, it's never there, and they're always going to deny you. But like at random moments, like, oh, I popped my tire. Oh, we can fix it. Oh, what? And it's like when you don't need them, they're always there. When you do need them, they're never there.
Mm-hmm. So remember when I crashed my Altima?
Yeah.
I right before that had broken the windshield. And they were like, well, you live in the metro area in Phoenix, so Geico covers 6 windshields a year or something crazy like that. And I was like, damn. So they replaced it for free.
Yeah.
My insurance rate did not go up, nothing.
Damn.
2-3 months later, I get in that accident.
Yeah.
It was not my fault. We should have pulled the footage from that Bank of America. But I end up having to pay all this money. His car got fixed right away. Mine, well, we're gonna need you to pay, this many thousands of dollars, and then you're gonna have to wait to get it, and then they have to send in the claim and do all this stuff. So I'm like, all I need is my front bumper and my hood repaired. They're not totaled. I can drive with it. My car's not broken. And they're like, okay, well, you're gonna have to pay this much of this and all this crazy shit. It was like thousands of dollars, and I'm like, I can't afford that, bro. I'm 19, 20, whatever. I was really young. I maybe 21 at the oldest. Like this was the first time that ever happened to me. I never got to get that car fixed. I had to trade it in wrecked, dude.
Yeah.
I drove it wrecked for 4 years. Like,
it's because it's hard being an adult when you're young.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because like, this younger generation before us, like they like to blame our parents because they, basically not our parents, but like
Their own parents.
Their grandparents and the generation before that basically destroyed our future, like food, like house market wise, job wise,
Yeah,
shit like that. And then that's why they they get mad because we don't have like job dedication. Like they get pissed that we can jump from one job to another.
yeah,
And they had to spend 50 years of their life working at one job to do basically what we're doing now.
yeah. But also what we're doing now. Back when my mom was 20, she could have bought a house for $100,000. Where now the same house is 500,000 just because it's on the corner. Like, you know what I mean? Like it makes no.
My parents, the house we're at, Miranda, back in 2001, they bought the house for 80 grand. And then this last time that was evaluated, it was like 430.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's ridiculous. Like, how much worth a house?
Yeah.
Like,
it's insane.
It's an invaluable amount of money unless you're born rich or you become rich.
Yeah. Like, and then there's people like Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian who have no idea. Like when I was watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I watch their new one is called The Kardashians, and I watch it a lot. And they were saying the other day, she's like, "Well, I had to take the Dolce and Gabbana, like, or something like that. I think it was Dolce and Gabbana. Like, I had to take I had to like run this fashion show because like the money, and it was like millions of dollars. And she was like, you got to keep working for that money. I'm like, bro, you know how much I would kill for $1 million? Dude, like, I would do so much. Like, it would take me. I don't even know. It would take me five. Let's see, if I was making $100,000 a year without taxes, it would take me 10 years to make $1 million. To make $1 million, and she makes that in a day.
The third year I worked with my parents, we made like 500,000.
Yeah.
In sales, but in back taxes that's something else.
Yeah, and then you pay $250,000 just in taxes, like
$20,000 every quarter.
Yeah.
So I think like maybe they've made $1 million like in 3 years.
Yeah. So like, and that's super nice. And then,
but there's no proof. Like that's the thing. There's no proof of that they've made millions, right?
Yeah.
Like the company's running. They have a paid off house, all this stuff, right? There's no proof of it. Like that's the shitty part. Like you can be rich, but there'd be no proof of it.
Yeah.
You just be a normal person. And it just makes you and that just makes it prove that the rich people are really rich. How they say that. was that thing that the thing that the rich people made the poor people believe is that they're really unhappy?
Yeah. Well, then when people say like I hate that stupid saying money can't buy happiness, because I'm gonna tell you right now, dog, if I had $2 million, I'd be pretty happy, at least for the next few days. Like, if someone was just like, you know what, I'm gonna give you all this money. I'm gonna give you $10 million. Do with it as you want.
What would you do, bro? What would you do? 10 million right now. What would you
right
do?
now, someone gave me 10 million. I would make sure my parents, like my dad, Madeline's house was paid off.
Yeah.
Get Steven house. Make sure my mom was taken care of. Those are my like family. Make sure my brother's set up and set. And then I would definitely, without a doubt, go buy the most perfect condition Supra that was just like
I knew it.
You knew.
I knew it.
I bought
bro.
myself a house, and like I just want to set people up with like I'd set you up and Matthew, Michelle, I would just make sure like my closest of the close, everyone's taken care of. I'm not going to be like, here's a million to each person, but I'm going to make sure you're taken care of and you don't have to pay for a house anymore or your car's fixed. Like you're going to be good. You know, you're never going to struggle again either.
Like, here's 250, go get that house.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're not going to struggle anymore. You're going to get what you need. Your family's going to be taken care of. So is mine. Miles' family taken care of. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to just go to any random person on the street and be like, let me get you a house. Like, I'm going to make sure my family's taken care of. I'm taken care of with just the basic necessities. Then I'm going to get my Supra. And then, but no, my Supra is actually one of the first things I'm going to get. My mom's going to be like, we're on the streets. And I'm like, next week, I got you. I just got that Mark IV. No, I'm like, I actually got to go. Again on the background.
Facebook page is just.
I know. I'm like JDM Club of America. I'm stupid, dude. But no, I would make sure everyone's set, dude, and then I would make sure like that the dogs were good to go, and then that's good. I gotta do like my basics, and I would invest as much as I could into stuff so that I always have money, and so does my family.
Yeah.
I would drop. Like probably if I helped all like the most important, like if I helped you, Matthew, and Michael, like Miles' family and my like parents and stuff, that would only cost me what $1 million to pay out. Like literally at that point, maybe two at the most. I'm not just gonna go out and buy everyone the dream car that they wanted, but like make sure you have a house. I might not go say you $1 million house, but here's at least 50% for your down payment. Exactly. You're set. You know, say goodbye to your student debt, like live a happy life.
And then,
my mom just needs a small house.
Say like you set someone up, but like you said, you bought their house, right?
Yeah.
What if they like 5-6 years they have kids, whatever?
Yeah.
And then be like, all right, the house is worth this much. When we die, you guys can sell it.
Yep.
And then boom, those kids are set up for the rest of their life.
Exactly. And then that whole family set up, unless they're stupid. But that's why you don't buy people who like are addicts stuff. Like I buy my brothers, make sure my sister's taken care of. I got to do that. My immediate family, you, Matthew, Michael, Michelle, Danielle, like everyone will be set in their own way.
Cheers.
And then I got to invest stuff because I want to make sure my family's set. If I decide to have kids someday, their kids, all that stuff, you got to do that. And then definitely my Supra, the Supra and the dogs, dude. And then I'd probably buy my business that I want, open my grooming salon. That way I don't have to set, these guys up out here with a house, but you have a job. Lauren has a job. Derek has a job. Everyone has a job that needs a job. Set them up. I would help everyone. But while also making sure to be smart with it too. But I'm going to tell you, if there's someone give me $10 million, $3 million of that is going to reckless behavior. And that includes helping my family. But then I'm going to do something crazy. Like I'm going to go out and be like,
I want 10 million. What does that mean?
I wouldn't tell you, but there'd be signs. Yeah, there'd be signs. Like when I come up in my Supra, and then I'm like, dude, what would be crazy? And then I give you keys. I'm like, what if we have magic Supras? Like, something crazy, like something dumb. Like I would do some reckless shit. I'd do some like reckless shit like that. But then I'd really try to invest that way. I always had money.
My family always had money.
Right. Yours automatic. And it's left-hand drive. Mine's gonna be right because it's gonna be real.
And it doesn't have a turbo.
Then it's not turbo. Yes, you're gonna have to pay for that, but I've got the twin turbo, so have fun. I'm just kidding. But no, you got to do like the basics.
Take off. Nice.
Yeah. Bye. Oh no, that would be sick. Why do we even talk about that?
Bro, we went off because there's ADHD off the chain.
We were like talking about aliens, and now we're just like, yeah, buy 110 mil.
We went from aliens, and then it went back to conspiracy theories. Yeah. And then it went back to like, are we even real? But if I had 10 million, okay, hear me out. I'm gonna say this out loud. If we're fake, if we're AI, if we're not real, we don't care. Me and Jesus are cool with it. We would really appreciate that 10 mil. And if you just want to pop it into our virtual bank accounts, our fake accounts, we'll be cool. We won't talk about this. But if not, then we're gonna talk about it. Exactly. I'll expose everything, bro. Even if it grants me nothing. Yeah. Like I said last time, I like knowing the truth, even if I gain nothing. Yeah. And if it leads to nothing too.
Honestly, a lot of the time the truth hurts the most, but
the truth is sometimes really boring too.
Yeah. The truth, you could like make up this whole story and then
it's like the lie was better, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's true. Like when you make up a story in your mind and then like you find out the truth and you're like, that was it.
Yeah. Or like when you, I got my.
What?
It's like when you not. All right, I'm gonna say.
Okay, say it.
No, it's like when you like fantasize about someone and then you finally meet them.
Yeah, and then you're like, ooh. Well, sometimes your brain creates like this euphoric feeling about someone, and you're like, oh my god. Or when the time comes, dude, it's gonna be the best time ever. And then you hang out with them, and you're like, oh god, they snort when they laugh, dude. Chew with their mouth open.
Just kind of ugly. No, it's just
Yeah, right. Or like their personality sucks. That's what usually does it for me. Is I'm like, this is it. And then you meet them, you hang out with them in real life, and you're like, this was
dude,
it.
They're how do I say? They're fake, dude. Like they're hella fake.
Yeah.
Like well, cause that when you talk to someone, you know, genuinely how they respond is basically how they are.
Yeah.
If you're if you're talking to someone and they're like talking to you either disrespectfully or like they're not interested,
Yeah.
then they're probably snobby, bro.
Yeah.
Like, cause nice people, even if they don't want to talk to you, they'll tell you like, hey, you know, like, hey, I'm kind of busy. Like, hey, talk to you later. Or,
Yeah.
I'll talk to you tomorrow. Like, literally
Whatever.
something.
Yeah.
Right? But like when a person's not genuine or they're just a liar, they'll just ignore you or just dry ass response.
Yeah. True.
Like I've been
there, done it, dude. Everyone's done it. Bro, we recorded that for an hour, and that was all supposed to be about aliens.
Damn.
We got on, we were like, aliens! And now we're like, are you an alien, bitch? Are you?
No, you said, are you, tell me if you're an alien, and I was like, no, I hit you with something else.
But, dude, do you ever think, like, this reminds me, sorry, I don't know why it reminded me of my ADHD.
Yeah.
But when we were talking earlier about, like, being reincarnated.
Yeah.
Like, how the idea of it is cool.
Yeah.
Imagine people are reincarnated as dogs and stuff. I saw this video on TikTok.
The cat.
Yeah. And he was like, if you're a human and like you're reincarnated into a cat, like meow twice or something. It was like,
no,
meow,
like,
meow. Or you put
twice.
the cup or something. Yeah, hit the cup twice. That's
like,
what it was. And then he tapped it twice with his paw.
Looked at him.
Yeah, and then he looked. And then he asked him like 3 questions, and he answered correctly. He said, if you're a man, like tap the cup once. If you're like, it was just weird shit like that. And he kept tapping the right amount of times. He didn't do it extra. He didn't do anything.
But like, you know how some animals.
Should we try it with Yowzer?
Okay. This is what you bring this up. I think last week how like that wolf saved that little girl. No?
Yeah.
You know what you just said. What if that person was reincarnated as a wolf?
Yeah.
The mother instincts kicked in.
Yeah.
I was a mom in my past life, and then boom. And then it's like those videos you see of like the cats and dogs, like that cat that saved the baby from falling down the stairs.
Yeah.
Like you see the cat like legit like grab the baby, like that's not normal behavior.
Yeah. Or like when like
that's how you know cats are chilling, right, meow?
Yeah, well there was like a puppy that like fell over this little ledge and no one could see it, and this cat like came, and this cat was looking over and it was like, oh, this puppy needs help, and this cat jumped down, grabbed the little baby puppy by its neck and like brought it up the thing. Like it like that might be like mom instinct, but it was a dog and it was like barking and needed help, and the cat was like, I got you.
Yeah.
Like that's just weird. Should we test Meow Meow? She's asleep like a human, so should we just try it?
She's in the potato position. Yeah, let's try it.
Okay. With this cup?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I just ask her about or should we use that ranch cup because it's smaller target? I feel like it's more realistic. Because if we have like a giant cup in front of her and we're like, touch the cup, and then she touches it, we'll be like, oh shit! Oh, Yowzy the cat. Oh, Yowzy the little human man. Who knows? We're about to find out. Okay, I'm gonna put her here. Yowzer, look at me. Do this. Sit. Okay. If you're a human, if you were a human in your last life, I'm gonna need you to touch that with your focus. Tap that twice with your paw. If you're a human reincarnated. Stop looking at the dog. Looky here. Tap it twice with your paw. If you're a human and you're reincarnated into this body. All right, you fucking liar. Whatever, get away. She's not a human, guys. Just for you. Okay, go. Shoo. No one likes you.
Yeehaw, brother.